Okay, so I have a joke. This is during the Bush administration. So Bush is in England visiting the Queen, and he says, "Hey, Your Majesty, your country is running so smoothly. How do you do it?" And she says, "Well, I make sure that my government officials are intelligent. It's all about intelligence. And I ask them a question. I have a little test for them to make sure that they're up to par." So she calls in Tony Blair. She's like, "Tony, if your mother has a child and it's not your brother and it's not your sister, who is it?" Tony thinks not even for a moment. He's like, "Your Majesty, it's me." And he was right, so she sends him away. And George Bush is blown away by this. I mean, it seems like a really good idea. And so he goes back home and he calls in Dick Cheney. He's like, "Okay, Dick, if your mother has a child and it's not your brother and it's not your sister, who is it?" And Cheney thinks and thinks and he just doesn't know. So Bush sends him off to figure it out. And Dick Cheney asks everyone and no one seems to get it. So he's in the bathroom and underneath the stall he sees a pair of shoes and he recognizes them. He's like, "Hey, Colin Powell, is that you?" And it was. And he's like, "Hey, Colin, if your mother has a child and it's not your brother and it's not your sister, who is it?" And Colin thinks for a minute and he's like, "Why, it's me, of course." So, Dick Cheney's excited and he runs back to the Oval Office. He's like, "Mr. President, if my mother has a child and it's not my brother and it's not my sister, it's Colin Powell." And Bush says, "No, you idiot, it's Tony Blair."